course, the Chiefs here, Jason Dunstall, and, very few Duke over the course of his career got the job done in September better than the Chief. Probably Dermott within his own side was better.
Probably had it covered.
But, there was sort of not that many others that probably as key forwards could claim to have the resume in September that the Chief had. So when it comes to ship off, he's also able to deliver that September style.
I get the sense he rises to the occasion, Chief.
All right, so let's hit it.
Ship the hell off.
Ship off.
Ship off. Ship off. Find a little boat and ship the hell off. She's an odd lot this week, Jim.
Right, yes.
It's been a very diverse sort of week. We're going to kick it off with my good mate Dan Andrews.
Oh, Dan.
Your man, Jim.
The United Fighters Union against the Melbourne Fire Brigade, Part 2. Of course, this is the board that Dan hand-picked.
Yes.
Who still won't agree to the UFU's EBA.
Yep.
Extraordinary stuff. They're going through the same crap again. And saying the same things that actually this is unfair on everybody in the MFB if you do this. So I don't know what Dan's going to do. He sacked the last board that didn't agree. Does he sack him again and try and get some even bigger yes men in? Not quite sure, but Dan not having a great run at the moment. And while I'm on politics, which I desperately hate, Sam Dastyari, seriously. That whole affair smelled a bit fishy from the start, all over this the dispute in the South China Sea. So I think Sam can ship off. Let's be brutally honest, it hasn't been a great week for the Labor Party.
No.
So the entire Labor Party and anyone that votes Labor can ship off. Now, I'm going to go international for a moment. The President of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, if I've pronounced that correctly, I hope so. He has a habit of teeing off on people. He's ripped into the US ambassador before, and now he's ripped into Barack Obama, and his favourite saying is a son of a whore. That's what he calls them. Now,
Rodrigo.
I wouldn't have thought, if I'm a little Pacific nation, that the best way to foster international relations is to call people, biggest leaders in the world, sons of a whore.
No.
So maybe he can ship off
Rodrigo. Yep, like it.
The Western Region Football League Division 3 Seniors Grand Final last week. Newport Power taking on Parkside during the last quarter. Apparently up to 150 people involved in a bit of a dust-up and a brawl, and included a pregnant woman getting kicked and trampled. There's no place for this in football, so everyone involved in that entire little melee can ship off.
You know, as the hero there,
Mick Martin.
Mighty Mick Martin.
Tried to break it up, which was fantastic. Now, one of the great telecommunications companies worldwide, and the second biggest in Australia, is Optus. They've taken over the coverage of the EPL, the English Premier League.
It's gone well.
Ooh, you would have thought that their expertise in streaming things to various mediums, and given you just download the app and then you've got it, you pay for it and you get it. Instead, you're getting frozen screens, apps failing to load, live matches on delay. This is extraordinary stuff. So, Optus, you can ship off. What else have I got? I'm going to make sure I get them all. Now, you're probably not familiar with this man. Nguyen Van Huan was a young Vietnamese man stalking his wife because he was suspecting her of having an affair.
Yes.
Well, he found her with another man. So what do? Lopped off the bloke's dinky. Cut his penis clean off, bolted and chucked it. They then had to convince him to tell them where it was. They found it 200 metres away. Took half a day to sew it back on. And we're still waiting to see whether it regains function. But I would have thought, if you've caught your wife doing that, it's probably not worth going to jail over, you should have just shipped her off, and instead he's going to get shipped off himself. And probably going to have a good stint behind the bars.
I hadn't caught up with that one, Chief.
Oh, it's a beauty. It pains me to do this one, because he's been in good form of late, but the Duke has to come under fire.
Yes.
Yep.
Warrior and I were sitting here.
What have I done?
And we saw 2 platters of food hand-delivered by his personal butler, Greg.
Well, your man.
Everyone else goes out, and it's a self-serve area out there. Duke was here and said, Greg, yes, just down here, please. 2 platters of food
He's a
came
good man,
in,
Greg.
And then after Greg left, he complained about the food.
Oh, no.
So I think the Duke can ship off. And just while I'm on the panel, one last one.
Careful, Chief. Careful.
This came across, apparently, is it your birthday, Juddy?
Yes.
Yeah, happy birthday, mate.
Thank you, Chief.
Fantastic.
Appreciate that.
Happy birthday.
That's good.
There's not a man in Australia that likes you at the moment. He's been identified by his beautiful wife, Beck, as Mr. Everything.
I did hear this.
He cooks, he cleans, he helps Beck dress, he drives, he makes lunch for the kids, he looks after their every needs. Blokes everywhere are hating you, Juddy. You have discredited the male sex.
That's sickening.
So on behalf of everybody out there that right now wants to punch you, ship off Juddy.
Yeah, that is sickening, Juddy. I did actually catch up with a bit of that.
No one can live up to that,
No.
Jess.
She's a very lucky girl. And look, this might be good for you, Chief. Is you're sitting in your penthouse there.
Not for me, my friend.
There
are a lot of blokes out there. There are a lot of
couple of
blokes out
life-size
there.
portraits of yourself watching 80s flashback finals.
Please.
This might be good to you to see how the real world lives. A little bit of care about other people.
The problem is that's not the real world. There are blokes getting harassed by women everywhere going, why don't you do that for me?
The part, Juddy, I must admit that I thought, I mean, he's one of the all-time good
You're not going
blokes,
to stick
Juddy.
the slippers in too,
No,
are you,
no, I
Dart?
just need a question. Project manager, but leg shaver.
Shaving.
Now that is above and beyond, Juddy.
Really?
Well, I'd prefer her not to have hairy legs, Chief. I don't know if, it's in all our interests are aligned in those legs being relatively smooth. But,
He does it all.
she's carrying a couple of subordinates at the minute, does.
Okay.
Subordinates.
Fair enough. He
Well,
does it
JB,
all.
you're
mate.
going to wait? You're going to have my back here?
No, I don't have your back at all because it appeared to me like it was absolute bullschluck. Most of it. It was Beck doing the almighty righty by you by including a lot of stuff in there that I am convinced doesn't actually happen.
No, she's very lucky to have me.
Oh, no.
I can't believe this.
He settled him well, hasn't he?
Oh,
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. Nice, Chief. I like it, especially old Newen, who just decided to slice a man's 8-day clock off, throw it 200 metres away.
He hasn't missed Dan too many times
No,
either, Jim.
I know he's not a fan of Dan.
Well, he hasn't missed Victoria too many times either. Let's be brutally honest.
He wrapped up the whole of the Labor voters
He
tonight.
did. Yeah, not only the
whole-
party, but
yeah.
anyone that votes for him.
You don't get me started on the Sky Rail, Jim.
No.
Yeah.
Chief, you're
going
not
well.
getting an argument out of me.